And today we will start a discussion data driven framework or data driven testing. So actually this data driven testing manually we are calling as a retesting we are calling. What is the retesting? Testing one functionality again and again by giving different set of data in order to check whether it is working properly or not. These we are calling as a retesting we are calling. So what is the retesting? Testing one functionality again and again by giving the different set of data, multiple set of data in order to check whether it is working as per our expectations or not. These we are calling as a retesting. For example, I'm giving this is a username and password. This is a login button. This is a one functionality. These functionality I want to test by giving multiple set of data. Like this is we can go for username, password. And I can test first time by giving the valid username, valid password, and I can test it is working as per our expectations or not. And again I can go for the invalid username, invalid password and click on the login button. Again I can give the invalid username, valid password. Again valid username in like that different set of data I can enter into the here username and password and clicking login button. Now how it will be working as per our expectation it is working or not we need to test. This is we are calling as a retesting. Means testing one functionality again and again by giving the different set of data in order to check whether it is working as per our expectations or not. And some other way also we can go for the retesting. For example, this we are calling as a build one. Testing and finding the defects. These are all the defects giving to the developers. Developer will be fixing defects and releasing the build 2. In this build 2, really that defects are fixed or not. Only defects are fixed or not we are testing. This is also we are calling as a retesting. Once again, what is the retesting? Testing, we are testing build 1. In that time we are finding the defects. These defects sent to the development department. Developer fixing that defect and release the modified application. In this modified application, really that defects are fixed or not, we are testing again. This is we are calling as a retesting we are calling. So to implement this retesting concept in automation, that we are calling as a data driven framework we are calling. That we are calling as a data driven framework. Same this retesting concept only we are implementing with the help of the tool. That concept we are calling as a data driven testing or data driven framework we are calling. But generally if you want to implement data driven testing, we require the different set of data. So in automation we can store the different set of data in Excel sheets. In Excel files we can store the all our data, and Excel sheet onwards we are getting that data and use into the our application functionality. Then it is working properly or not we can test. So this is we are calling as a data driven testing. For example, this is a I can go for that. Yes, and this we can go for the username, password, expected value, and this is we can go for the result. So this is we are calling as a Excel sheet input data, and lot of input we have, and these all the inputs I want to gather with the help of the tool. I can write the Selenium script, I can write it in order to get the data, and after getting that data from the Excel sheet, now I can use into the application. Whenever I'm using the application and it is working properly or not, we can get the output. Again we can store into the Excel sheet only that output also. So these we are calling as a data driven testing we are calling. Means how to get the data from the Excel sheet. After getting the data, how we can use in the application. After using in the application, our expected result is coming or not, we can gather and again stored into the output in the Excel sheet also. So these all the concept. If you want to implement, first you need to understand how to handle the data from the Excel sheet onwards. That concept you need to understand. So if you coming to the Selenium, if you want to get the data from the Excel sheet, we can use a new concept, that is we are calling as a PY API. This is we are calling as some jar files we need to download, configure, and then using these jar files and we can implement the data driven testing. Apache PY API jar files we can download and configure into our project. Using these jar files information, now we can start the writing the script. And coming to the here, what is a data driven framework? If you want to implement, what is a, we have the procedure. First one, collect the data into Excel sheet, first point. And second point, download PY API jars and then configure API, means PY API jars into our project. Yes. And then design our test case. Then execute that test case and analyze the result. Execute that test case and analyze the result. This is a flow we can follow and implement the data driven framework. First we can go for that here. What is the data driven framework process? Collect the data into the data table, means Excel sheet you can gather, and download the PY API jar files, configure the jar files into the project, design our required test case by using this data, execute the script and analyze the result. This is a flow. So first we can go for that, collect the data into the Excel sheet. So we are gathering the Excel sheet onwards data. For example, I'm drawing it. This is an Excel file, right? This Excel file I'm storing into the, for example, D drive, and I'm giving the name is test data 1.xls. I'm giving the name of that and stored into the D drive. This is we are calling as Excel, and in this Excel we have the one of that is we are calling as a workbook. We are calling in this workbook we have the another one is sheet 1 is there, sheet 2 is there, sheet 3 is there, like that many sheets are there. So this is all the many sheets. Now in first sheet we have the data. This is the data we have, right? In this Excel sheet, username, password, expected value, result, right? And I have the data. This is I have the data, right? This is the right data. This is the expected value we have. And wrong data, expected value is there. Right data, wrong data, expected value. Wrong data, right data, expected value. So this is the data we have. After that, these data I want to get from the Excel sheet onwards. What is the steps you can follow? First step, identify the Excel sheet path. Where this Excel sheet will be located, that you need to identify. This is we can go for the Excel file you can identify. Second point, identify the workbook. This is we are calling as a workbook you need to identify. Okay. After identifying the workbook, inside the workbook, particular sheet you can identify. In that sheet, so many rows and so many columns is there. So first we can identify the row. In that row, particular column you can identify. In that row, particular column you can identify. This is, we can go for the column. You can identify the column. Okay. After identifying the column, now that row, that column related data you can get it, and you can store it some variables. This is the data we are getting, and get it that data and store into the one variable. In further, what way you can use it, in which test cases, in which functionality you need to use it, in that functionality you can use in your application and implement the data driven testing. Once again, first what we need to go for here means, first we can go for the Excel sheet. First you need to understand Excel sheet is there, inside that workbook is there. Inside the workbook we have the sheets, many sheets have it. So first in that sheet, so many rows are there and so many columns are there. So if you get that particular cell data, first you need to identify Excel sheet. This is an Excel sheet, means Excel file path you need to find out first of all. Second one is, you need to find the workbook. In that Excel sheet workbook we need to find out. And then inside that workbook so many sheets is there. Particular sheet you need to identify. Inside that sheet so many rows and columns is there. So rows you can identify here. After identifying the rows, in that row particular column you can identify. This is a column you can identify. So column is there, row is there. Now particular cell data you can get it and stored into the one variable, otherwise some other place. And then we can use in the further our designed test case script. This is you need to understand first of all. So how we can go for this one? This is I'm giving step by step, one by step I'm giving. These same steps I want to write the code, and then I can get the single value. This is, we need to understand basic level. Now we'll go for the multiple values, how we can get it, how we can use in the application. We'll start a discussion. Okay, right. So once again we need to go for that. What is the process we'll go for here means, first Excel sheet we can collect the data and download the POI API jar files, configure the jar files into the project, and then design our test case. So I'll go for the here practically how to download the data, how to download the POI API jar files. Now see, already in my in my D drive, otherwise E drive, and some other drive, I have the already data. This is the TD1. This is have the already some data. Okay, and this is already I can create it and I can store it into the D drive. Name is TD1. Fine. Now download the POI API jar files. Now how to download? First go for the Google to download the POI API jar files. Just download POI API jars. This is, you can go for that, and it's giving the first link. This is we are calling as the first link, and click on that link. Now in this website Apache, you can go for the below binary distribution is there. This is we are calling as a binary distribution. In this binary distribution you can find the zip file. This is a zip file you can find out, and this zip file, this is a link is there. That link you need to click it. Now it will be showing the so many links here. Now click on the first link. Click on the first link. Now it will start the downloading our POI API jar files. So this is can start the downloading. Okay, and you can save it. you can save into the your required location in your system. After clicking OK button, now it will be saving. Okay, already in my system dump is there. Already I downloaded and dump is there. So I can use that dump. Okay, fine. I'm downloading the PY API jar files. These downloaded files I want to configure into the my Eclipse, my project. How we can go for that? See here, I can start the configuring here my project. Right click on the project, go for the properties and click on the Java build path and select the libraries tab. Click on the add external jars and then already I have PY API that file and I can extract it, and it's having this is the 5 jar files. Now I can select this one, open it and click OK button. See, all the 5 jar files will be coming here, and whenever click on OK button, now that will be coming to the in this reference libraries. See, this is all will be coming. So this is we're calling as a configure the PY API jar files into our project. So whenever we can configure, now start the writing the our script. Now I'll start the writing here script. First right click on the package and select the new and click on the class. Now I'm written data driven testing example 1 I'm giving. This is the basic example I'm giving, and click finish button. Now it's creating. Now if you observe, as per our diagram, how to get the data from the Excel sheet onwards data. As per our diagram, first I want to find out Excel sheet path. So file input stream, I can go for that. File input stream FIS equal to new file input to stream. This is I can go for that. In this file input stream, I'm giving the path of our Excel file d colon and td1.xls. This is I'm giving the path and storing that file path into the, this is a reference of file system stream, file input stream. Now it is asking some exception. It is raising some exception. Now see, if you click on this add throws declaration, file not found exception will be added. After that, okay, you are finding the Excel sheet path. In that Excel sheet, you can find the workbook. So workbook, you can write it. Observe here, here something we need to download. This is a workbook. See, it's coming to the PY API jar files onwards. So workbook and WB equal to, now I can write the workbook factory. This is I can go for the workbook factory dot create. I can go for the create. In this I can do the FIS. So this is the workbook we need to identify in this Excel sheet. So this Excel sheet I am storing into the here, and then that Excel sheet having the workbook, that workbook I need to find out and store the reference into the in this workbook reference. Okay, now it will be focusing. Yes, now again exception is coming. You can okay import that one. Now if you write this one WB, what it will be focusing means directly workbook it will be focusing. In this workbook, I want to find the Excel, I want to find the sheet. So sheet, I can write, again I want to import. This is I want to import sheet related. And then S equal to, now WB dot get sheet how. What is the sheet name? That name you can write it here. Sheet 1. This is a sheet 1 I am giving that name. Okay. Now in this workbook, lot of sheets are available, but you are focusing which sheet? That sheet name you can write. Yeah, sheet 1. Now that sheet 1 can store into the here. Very clear? Huh? Now inside the sheet we can find the rows and columns. So I can go for the rows. This is we can go for the rows. I want to import that again. This is where importing the rows and R. Where rows will be available? Sheet, inside the sheet. So S dot get row. This is a get row. I'm giving the 0. Because of that row, I'm getting the index 0. Okay, na? And inside that row, this is a row will be focusing. In sheet, which row? 0th row. That will be focusing to the R. In that row, which column? So cell I can import once again. This is a cell I'm importing. This is I'm importing. Now C equal to, this is a C equal to R dot get row. Sorry, get cell. Get cell. I can give the 0. So 0th row, 0th column means 0th row, and this is we are calling as a 0th cell. This is we can go for that. Okay. Whenever we can go for the 0th row, 0th cell, whenever we can go for the 0th row, 0th cell, and we can identify that cell. Inside that cell, if you want to get the data, C is nothing but particular cell dot get to string cell value. This is we have the one of the method. Using this method, I'm getting that particular cell value. 0th row, 0th column, that cell value I'm getting. After getting, I want to store into the one variable. I want to store into the one variable. And this is we are calling as a str. I'm giving one variable. That variable value, whatever we are getting from the Excel sheet, that I want to print it. I'm displaying that whatever I'm getting. Now see, save it and click on the run button. Yeah. So it is getting the value Venkat. Now see where onwards it will be getting. I'll tell you. Yeah. See. Yeah. 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 Once again, I'll repeat. 0th cell, 0th row, and 0th cell. I'm focusing. That cell, I can get the data. Inside that cell, I want to get the data. C means 0th row, 0th cell. In that cell, we have the data. That data, if you want to get it, we are using the get string cell value. This is one of the method to get the data from the particular cell. After getting that cell value, we can store into the one variable, and that variable value I want to display. I want to print it. Now I'm using the system.out.println. We can use it. Once again I repeat, what is this code? What it will be doing here means, once again, yeah, once again I repeat, this is I'm giving already. This is a Excel sheet we need to find out first of all, and row we can find out means workbook. In that workbook, different sheets will be there, and in that so many columns and rows will be there. So first this statement can identify this is Excel sheet, and this is a statement can identify this is a row, and this statement can identify this is a sheet can identify, and this is a row, it can identify a particular row, 0th row it can identify. This is a cell, and 0th cell it can identify. Now this cell value I want to get it or not. So we are using the get string cell value. I can use it and I can get it. Okay. And whenever we are getting this value, here or some value is there, that value I'm getting, that will be stored into the in this variable string that I want to print out. Just I'm giving the basic just I am printing. Now we are using further, we need to use in the application. Okay, right. Now see, this is we are calling as a, I'm writing the script. Now see, click on run button. Now it's giving the Venkat, means in my D drive, this is a D drive, and this is a TD1 is there. In this TD1 I have the data. So this is a Venkat, it will be getting 0th column, 0th row. Understood? So this is a value we are getting. Okay, for example, I want to get this value, Sreekanth. So first row, 0th column. This is we are calling as a first row, 0th column. For example, I can give here 0th row, first row, and 0th column. This is I want to get it. Now see, save it, run it. Now I'm getting the Sreekanth from the Excel sheet onwards. Same manner, I want to get particular one. This is I want to get selenium. What is this? 0, 1, 2, 3. This is the third row, first column. This is the third row, first column. This is the third row, first column. That I want to get it here. This we are calling as a third row, first column I want to get it. Now save it and run it. Now she is getting the selenium, right? Okay. Actually, if you want to get the single set of single data, single column value, if you want to get that purpose, no need to write this much coding, no need to use this PY API also. Directly we can store it to the one variable and we can use it. But our main intention of here, we want to get all the data from the Excel sheet onwards. This is our main intention, right? I don't want to go for the only one column value. I want to get all the column values. I want to get it. This is our intention to coming to the data driven testing. Okay. So in this same coding only, I want to do the small modification. That is, here I am giving row 3. Here I am giving column 1. So all the rows purpose one for loop I can use it. All the cell purpose I can go for the one for loop. Inside that we can go for the another for loop also. For example, first I can find how many rows having the in that sheet, that we can find out. So I can go for the integer and row count equal to RC, means row count equal to, where we can find the row count inside the sheet. So S dot get last row number. This is a method can finding the last row number. So it will be giving the last row number and it can store into the, this is a variable RC remote. Okay na? Once again I repeat, if you want to get the one by one row value, one by one row and one by one column value, all the rows and columns value I want to get, first I want to go for that this Excel sheet, how many rows having the data, that I want to find out. So I can store the one, I am declaring the one variable integer RC. This is one variable. If you want to find the rows, first you can find the sheet. Inside the sheet, yes dot get last row number. In that sheet, how many rows having the data, last row it is giving, and it can store into the numeric value into this variable, because of I am declaring the integer and it is giving the count. Depends upon this, I can declare the one variable, one for loop. This is I can give the for loop. Here I can write the for loop. I equal to 0, I less than, I want to go for the row count. This is I can write the row count, I can write it here. Clear? So I can give, because of how many rows is there, that many times I want to go for that. For example, rows, 5 rows is there, and 5 times I want to rotate. I equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that 5 times I want to rotate. So this is we are calling as a row count, I can write it. Okay, fine. Whenever rows I can find out, then I want to find inside the row column I can find out. So I can write here int. First I can write here, I can write this is we are calling as a, in this statement I can go for that here, but I don't want to write the static manner number. I can give the I. Here I am giving the I. In the place of number, I can give the I because of I want to go for the dynamically. I want to change every time every row. So I equal to 0. Now it will be focusing the 0th row. And I equal to 1. It will be focusing the first row. I equal to 2. It will be focusing the second row. I equal to 3. It will be focusing the third row. Now I can find out int cell count. CC is nothing but cell count. Where we can find the cell count? R dot means particular row I want to find the count of the cells. Particular row I want to finding the cell count. So get cell I want to go for the get uh, yeah, get cell row, get last cell number. This is I want to use it. R dot get last cell number. That will be finding the how many cells having the data into the particular row. For example, this is the first row. In this first row, how many cells having the data, that I need to count it and store into the, this is a variable. Now I can find for once again for look for the cell column, cells purpose, and j equal to 0. I can write it. Now here I can do the CC count, cell count. Now I can start writing here. This is a script. Means I can write here. This is a cell. Yeah. Cell C equal to R dot get cell. Now here I am giving the J. This is a J I am giving. So 0th row. This is a 0th row and 0th column. It can find in the 0th column. Now it's finding the 0th row, 0th column and get the value. Whenever it's a getting the value and printing. Now I will explaining very clear manner, step by step. Listen very carefully. Now we can understand very clear manner. Now see, I want to explain here very detailed. But this is a basic you can understand, and you can go for the application very easily. You can go for first. I can understand. First you can go for here understanding. This is Excel sheet identifying. You know. Workbook also you are understanding, sheet also you are understanding. Now inside the sheet, this is I can draw it, one sheet, one, and this is a 0th row, first row, second row, 0th column, first column, second column. Right. Now we can start the discussing here. First I am finding here sheet. So sheet I can find out. Inside the sheet, how many rows having the data? This is giving the rows. So 1, 2, 3. So it's giving the RC row count equal to 3 it is giving. Now it's coming to the for loop for I equal to 0 and I less than 3. Because of row count is 3. Now this is a for loop is coming here. Okay. Right. Inside that for loop, I can go for the how many cells is there I want to find out. So 0th row S dot get of row I equal to what will be there 0. Now it will be finding the R equal to 0th row. This will be finding and this will be finding 0th row will be finding. Now R means 0th row. Now in that how many cells having the data? How many cells having the data? That will be giving the count. So this is a CC is giving the 3. again is giving the another for loop. This is I am giving the CC equal to 3. Now coming the here, first row I can coming to the 0th column. Now it will be getting this one, and by using this C it will be focusing this 0th row, 0th column, and get that value by using get cell value. After getting, I am printing. Whenever I am printing, now this is a for loop is there. It is coming to the here. It's coming to the here. This is will be coming. Okay na? Here I am giving j plus plus, means j equal to 0. Now it will be incremented 1. And now it will be checking j1 less than 3. It will be checking the condition. If condition is satisfied, enter into the this statement. Okay, j equal to 1. So 0th row and first column it will be focusing. 0th row, this is 0th row only. And first column it will be getting. And getting, it will be focusing first column, and we want to get the data. Now we can use it. This is the get string cell value I am using. Once again, whenever getting and printing, again is coming to the here. Here only is coming. Whenever coming, and j plus plus will be incremented. Again 2. Again this is go for the second row. Second column. Sorry, second column. And again second column is getting. After getting the second column, again it will go for the, this is a for loop will be leaving, and it go for the, this is a for loop. This is a for loop is coming. I will be incremented. Oh, 0, 1 will be incremented. And now it's focusing the first row. Whenever you can go for the first row, whenever you're going focusing the first row, now it will be finding how many columns are available. It will be finding here. Again coming here, first row, 0th column, first column, second column. Again like that, all the values it will be getting. This is actually we are written the logic here. So what is here we are written means, one for the for loop. This is a one for loop is for the row. This is I can go for the rows for loop. This is we are calling as a row for loop. This is a row for loop. This is the ending of the row. Okay, and this is we are calling as a cell for loop, and this is the ending of the cell for loop. So 0th row, and this is a first 0th column, first column, second column, third column. Up to condition is satisfied, it will be incremented. If it is condition is satisfied, now it's coming to the, this is a for loop. Again I will be incremented. I equal to 1 is incremented. So first row, again all the columns value we can get. For example, see, save it. I can go for the run it. Now see, getting all the values. See, all the values from the Excel sheet onwards it will be getting, right? So this is a way we can get the all the data also. Clear, huh? Okay, for example, I want to go for the from Excel sheet, how is it displaying same manner. See, now it's giving like this. Okay, fine. I can go for this. Yeah. LN I can give it. Yeah, LN. Oh, sorry. This is I can go for that. LN. I want to print the like Excel sheet pattern. Means system dot out dot println. Now I can write here. It's a new line. Save it. So it's giving the, oh, it's giving new line. Now see, is giving, this is one data, this is another data. Okay na? I want to go for that more S5. So now see, In Excel sheet we have the data. This is a first column value, this is the second column value, this is the second. So in beside only say coming. See, this is Excel sheet is coming like that. Okay na? So all the values we are getting from the Excel sheet onwards. So this is a way we can get the data and we can display the data. Just I'm displaying only. I'm not using in the application. If you want to use in the application, and we can use this script only, we can write here very simply I can use it. Driver dot find element by dot, I can write the export, and here I can write the export, then I can dot write send keys, and I can write send keys within the brackets. I can write that variable str. Now it will be entered in the application. So this is we can discuss in the further with one example. We can go for the framework implementation. We need to go for that. This is just basic. We can go for that. How to get the data from the Excel sheet and how we can display. This is the basic. Using this knowledge, we can go for the our framework. So how we can go for our framework means, for example, I'll give it here. Right. I can go for the implementing data-driven testing. In this Excel file, whatever the data is there, that all I want to get it. These all the script I can divide as a functions. XLS methods I can write one class. Here I can write public void. We can write the workbook finding, Excel finding. This is a one method I can write and write the logic. And same manner, this is we can go for that. This we are calling as a row count. One method I can write the logic. Same manner public void cell count. This is a one method. Like that, all the Excel sheet actions I can create as a methods into the one class. These methods I can use into the our test case class. These all the methods I can use it, and I can write the data driven framework designing, and then get the data from the Excel sheet and use into the application. Then I can store it into the output also. So this is a way we can design our framework. In further, in our next classes we are discussing like this. Now we are discussing just basic how to get the data from the Excel sheet, plain script, basic script how we can write, single data how we can get, multiple data how we can get. This is we are discussing and displaying the whatever we are getting the values in our desired fashion. But we are not using right now here how to use in the application, that we are designing into the application, we are designing into the framework. In further classes we are discussing. So this is we are calling as a, and this is we are calling as a data driven framework. If you want to implement, this is a basic you need to understand. Then we can go for the our further classes very clear manner. Actually we can go for the real world basic real world framework we'll discuss. Okay na? So this is we are calling as a our framework, our basic of data driven framework. How to download, how to configure, and how to write the step by step line to get the data from the Excel sheet. Is it clear? Right. So this is we are calling as a data driven framework we are calling. Fine. Yes, this is the basic.